that could very well limit him. We'll see where this week leads us. Minka is in the concussion protocol. Got evaluated post game, and he's in the protocol. I'll give you guys an update as he continues to move within the protocol. Kevin Dotson has an ankle injury that may limit him somewhat at the early portions of the week, and then post game, Presley Harvin expressed discomfort in the hip area, inflammation, and so forth. And so we're monitoring that on a day-to-day basis as well. As always, man, we'll put together a plan highlighting the players available to us, their collective strengths, working to minimize our weaknesses, all in an effort to get the business handled this week, and our business is winning. I'll pause and open it up for questions.
You said you had a chance to use the long weekend, like as a mini bye. Where do you assess your offense? What did you see when you looked at it?
There are a lot of things that we need to do better. There are a lot of things that we'd like to do better. I think the best way to sum up my evaluation of it, whether it's the collective unit or components of the unit, is that we've been better with re-outing. And so it's reasonable to expect those improvements to continue. We haven't done enough to win the last 2 football games. And so there's reason for alarm as it pertains to that. But largely, I'm seeing improvements in all areas, whether it's individuals or whether it's the collective. And so it's our job to tune out the noise and to remain committed to the path that we're on and work to get better in the effort to change the outcome of these games. I expect our guys not to blink and to continue to work. And so I have to display that as a leader, and I intend to.
Talking with some of the players yesterday, Chase Claypool said that he doesn't feel frustrated. It's too early to feel frustrated, but what's the general gauge of the temperature within the offensive room?
I don't know about the offensive room in particular. I don't know that if I diagnosed it that way. I know that we're all pretty hacked off that we hadn't won the last 2 games, and we realize that football is our game and our business is winning, and so we got to get back to business.
Mike, you have Montravius Adams now listed as first team nose tackle. What went into that change, and what have you seen from him?
He's been playing better than Tyson, and so we just thought that was appropriate.
You mentioned that you're encouraged in the way that the progression is happening. What specifically with Mitch Trubisky do you like in the way that he's progressing?
In all areas, in decision-making and where he's going with the ball, the time in which he's making decisions, the prudent use of mobility, whether it's by schematics or by ad-lib, but just generally all areas.
Like TJ Watt can affect the game in so many different ways. Just where are you feeling his absence most through the first 2 weeks here without him?
I hadn't focused on, feeling his absence. I really focused my energies on the utilization of guys that are available to us and the best ways to highlight their talent. Sometimes you can spend a lot of time or waste a lot of time worrying about people that aren't at your disposal. So I think that's my mindset and our mindset as we're here today, is to how to utilize the makeup of the guys that are available to us right now in an effort to play better. And so although, TJ's absence is a component of what's going on with us, I just think that's the proper approach in terms of how to look at it, and that's where our energies are.
Would you like to go up-tempo on offense a little bit more, or are the concerns about time of possession and your defense getting out there too quickly part of the equation?
Pace is a component of what we do each and every week. It's not whether or not we use pace, it's how we use it, in what situations, in what manner. And so that's just going to be a function of what it is that we do each and every week. It's a function of our offense.
I realize the Jets have some questions at quarterback, but if Zach Wilson does get to go, he has just 13 NFL starts. When you're playing a guy with that relative inexperience, how does that shape things from a defensive standpoint?
I don't know if that in particular shapes things. The fact that we're unfamiliar with him, having not been in the stadium with him, is probably more significant from our perspective in terms of, weighing his talents and how it might play out into our planning. In stadium arm strength, in stadium mobility, how he sees the field, et cetera. There are probably more questions than answers, but that's probably the same could be said on both sides.
Is Montravius a different style nose tackle than Tyson? How does that his style fit into your defense?
You could say that, but not significantly. No. He's capable of doing the things that we ask him to do. He's played a lot of football for us. He played a lot, started a lot for us last year. He missed a lot of time during team development. That probably slowed his progress. Since he's been back from injury, we've just seen a, really uptick in his consistency and performance.
Mike, how much of you guys' successes and failures on third downs on offense have been more about matchups and preparation for your opponent versus you guys doing what you're supposed to do?
A lot of it is a lot of reasons why, environmentally is a component of it as well. 2 out of our 3 games have been in hostile division road game environments, and that affects, possession downs and particularly on offense. And so, we understand all of those things.
Mike, I believe when you said you were talking about the offensive improvements, you said we'll continue to tune out the noise. What's the noise?
Questions from you guys, which I anticipated. And that's why I wanted to display the resolve that I want our team to display.
Is some of that noise too? I mean, what are the challenges in coming back to a home stadium where, yes, it's friendly, but when they are upset about something, when fans want to change, they're very vocal about it. Is that some of the noise you have to shut out?
Our fans are not an issue, man. We love our fans and the enthusiasm that they bring. We're not going to make that a negative. They care, and that's an awesome thing.
Coach, your thoughts on Jets rookie Sauce Gardner, what he brings to their defense?
Like I mentioned earlier, he's really talented. He's got a feel for the game. He's long. He can run. He's instinctual. He plays with great confidence. He displayed those things as a young guy when he played as a true freshman at Cincinnati, and I don't think that those characteristics have changed, although he's a rookie in the National Football League. He's just a really talented guy, but that's why you take those guys as high in the draft as they took him.
Extra time you mentioned during the mini bye, self-evaluation you might be doing offensively. Have you found that you're using all areas of the field enough in terms of both play calling and execution once the ball is snapped?
I like to think that we are from an intention standpoint, but it doesn't always play out that way for a myriad of reasons.
Anyone else? Like you mentioned, getting better every week.